So we're going to continue today with factoring quadratic expressions. We're going to look at some patterns here. We want to see some patterns because there's some quadratic expressions that fit a pattern, and we don't need to do as much work as we were doing yesterday to be able to find factors. So we're going to work backwards a little bit. Yeah. If we take y plus 7 and square it, what does it mean to square a number? Multiply by itself. So that means y plus 7 times y plus 7. If we FOIL that out, we get y squared plus 7y plus 7y plus 49. If we combine the like terms in the middle, we get a 14y in the middle. So y squared plus 14y plus 49. So that's y plus 7 times y plus 7. What about x plus 5 quantity squared? What does it mean to square? Okay, some of you guys are jumping the gun there. That's really good. X plus 5 times x plus 5 is x squared plus 5x plus 5x plus 25 following FOIL. So we see that x squared plus 10x plus 25. What about x plus 2 quantity squared? Sure. It's going to end up x squared plus 4x plus 4. And at some point right about now, you should be thinking, I see a pattern. I think I can do this without doing all the steps, and some of you guys are already there. So what's the pattern? X plus 6 times x plus 6 is going to turn out to be x squared plus 12x plus 36. What if it's an a and a b? Thanks, 0.1415. All right, a plus b times a plus b is what that means. If we FOIL it out, we're going to get an a squared plus an ab plus another ab plus a b squared. So it's a squared plus 2 ab's plus a b squared. That's the pattern that we've been following on the other ones. Okay? So it's not ab squared up front. It's just a squared plus 2 times ab in the middle plus b squared on the end. That's a special product. It's a special product, and that goes both directions. If you see a pattern that looks like a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, this thing on the right, it will factor to the thing on the left. If you're asked to multiply, the thing on the left will multiply to the thing on the right. So that's a special product. There's another special product. Actually, let's apply the special product. X plus 3 quantity squared has to equal what? Keep going, yeah. X squared plus 6x plus 9. That's x plus 3 quantity squared. What about 6p plus 11q quantity squared? Back up. 6p squared is not quite what I want. 36p squared. No, it's not 22. It's not 66. This is the first thing squared, right? 6p, you square everything there. 6 squared is 36, p squared is p squared. Here, this is double 6p times 11q. 6p times 11q is 66pq, right? If we double that, we get 132pq. And then on the end, it's just 11 squared is 121, and q squared is q squared. Multiplied together and doubled. Yeah, that middle term. So this one's a little easier. Think about it for a second. Okay, here we go. 3x, if we square everything, we get what? 9x squared, right?
Yeah.
Take 3x times 4, what do you get? 12x. Double that, you get 24x, and then square the 4. That's all you do. You can FOIL it out if you want to, but this is faster if you have this kind of product. Somebody do that one. Let me pick somebody. Here's my list. Can we turn that around to x plus 8? You bet we could. And what's this one?
It is x squared plus
Perfect. You went ahead and turned it around. That's great. X squared plus 16x plus 64. If we leave it in that order, we'd get that order, which isn't quite standard form. It doesn't matter. I would rather see standard form, which would be what she said. Who can... Oh, we've got a minus in the middle now. So let's watch the pattern here for a second. And what does it mean to square a number? Multiply it by itself. If we FOIL that out, you see the only difference? We get a minus in the middle. We get a negative middle term. So after a couple of these, you start scratching your head and say, I think I see a pattern. What's this going to turn out to be? Let me give that to somebody. Just a sec. Maggie, what's that going to be?
x squared minus 12
Keep going.
plus 36.
Perfect. X squared minus 12x plus 36. Okay. Here's the pattern. On the a plus b or the a minus b quantity squared, there's always going to be an a squared come up first. And then the sign that comes after that always matches the sign in the binomial that you're squaring every time. So in an a plus b, it's a squared plus. In an a minus b quantity squared, it's a squared minus. Those signs always match. There's always a 2ab in the middle. And the end has to always be a positive b squared. That pattern will always hold for these special products. Dallas, you're going to get the next one here. Do you know this one? Same question. These are always going to end with a plus b squared every time. It's not one of these. This is a little different pattern, isn't it? Yeah, you are, aren't you? Yeah. This is a little different pattern. But it should be a familiar one.
If the sign of the final answer is the sign at the beginning.
Only right here. This one's always positive. Then that's different. That's what we're doing now. Yeah. Got it? Nope. How much? Yeah. Notice what happens here. You're going to get a negative 5x and a positive 5x in the middle. Those are going to zero out. It's just going to leave you the ends. It's going to give you the x squared minus 25. What's the x plus 2 times x minus 2 going to end up being? X squared minus 4 is where it's going to end up. Okay? Y plus 7 times y minus 7 should be... Okay? So at this point, we've got a new pattern.